The principal temple of the Angkorian region, Angkor Wat, was built between year 1113 and 1150 by King Suryavarman II. Suryavarman ascended to the throne after prevailing in a battle with a rival prince. An inscription said that in the course of combat, Suryavarman leaped onto his rival's war elephant and killed him, just as the mythical birdman Garuda slays a serpent. After consolidating his political position through military commands, diplomacy, and firm domestic administration, Suryavarman launched into the construction of Angkor Wat as his personal temple mausoleum, breaking with the tradition of the Khmer kings and influenced perhaps by the concurrent rise of Vaishnavism in India. He dedicated the temple to Vishnu rather than to Shiva. With walls nearly half a mile long on each side, Angkor Wat grandly portrays the Hindu cosmology with the central towers representing Mount Meru, home of the gods, the outer walls, the mountains enclosing the world, and the moat, the oceans beyond. The traditional theme of identifying the Khmer Devaraja with the gods and history saddened with that of the Celestials is very much in evidence. The measurements themselves of the temple and its path in relation to one another have cosmological significance. Suryavarman had the walls of the temple decorated with bas-reliefs depicting not only scenes from mythology but also from life of his own imperial court. In one of the scenes, the king himself is portrayed as larger in size than his subjects, sitting cross-legged on an elevated throne and holding court, while a bevy of attendants make him comfortable with the aid of parasols and fans. Jayavarman VII, King Khmer, following the death of Suryavarman around 1150 AD. The kingdom fell into a period of internal strife. Its neighbors to the east, the Cham of what is now southern Vietnam, took advantage of the situation in year 1177 to launch a waterborne invasion up to Mekong River and across Tonle Sap Lake. The Cham forces were successful in sacking the Khmer capital of Yashoharapura and in killing the reigning king. However, a Khmer prince who was to become King Jayavarman VII joined his people and defeated the Cham in battles on the lake and on the land. In year 1181, Jayavarman assumed the throne. He was to be the race of the Angkorian kings. Over the ruins of Yashoharapura, Jayavarman constructed the walled city of Angkor Thom, as well as its geographic and spiritual center, the temple known as the Bayon. Bas-reliefs at the Bayon depict not only the king's battles with the Cham, but also scenes from the life of the Khmer villager and courtiers. Jayavarman oversaw the period of Angkor's most prolific construction, which included building of the well-known temples of Ta Prohm and Prekan, dedicating them to his parents. The massive program of construction coincided with a transition in the state religion from Hinduism to Mahayana Buddhism. Since Jayavarman himself had adopted the latter as his personal faith, during Jayavarman's reign, Hindu temples were altered to display images of the Buddha, and Angkor Wat briefly became a Buddhist shrine. Following his death, the revival of Hinduism as the state religion included a large-scale campaign of desecrating Buddhist images and continued until Theravada Buddhism became established as the land's dominant religion from the 14th century. The year 1296 marked the arrival of Angkor of the Chinese diplomat Zhou Daquan, representing the Yuan dynasty. Zhou's 1 year sojourn in the Khmer capital during the reign of King Indravarman III is historically significant because he penned a still surviving account, The Customs of Cambodia, of approximately 40 pages, detailing his observations of Khmer society. Some of the topics he addresses in the account were those of religion, justice, kingship, agriculture, slavery, birth, festival, bathing, clothing, tools, craft animals, and commerce. In one passage, he described royal processions consisting of the soldiers, numerous servants, women, and concubines, ministers, and princes, and finally, the sovereign standing on 11 elephant holding his sharp sword in his hand, together with the inscription that have been found on Angkorian stelae, tambours, and other monuments. And with the past reliefs at Bayon and Angkor Wat, Zhou's journal is the most important source of information about everyday life at Angkor. Filled with vivid anecdotes and sometimes incredulous observations of the civilization that struck Zhou as a colorful and exotic, it is an entertaining travel memoir as well. The end of the Angkorian period is generally set as 1431, the year of Angkor was sacked and looted by Ayutthaya invaders, though the civilization already had been in decline in the 13th to 14th centuries. During the course of the 15th century, nearly all of Angkor was abandoned except for Angkor Wat, which remained a Buddhist shrine. Several theories have been advanced to account to the decline and abandonment of Angkor. It is widely believed that the abandonment of the Khmer capital occurred as a result of Ayutthaya invasions. Ongoing wars with the Siamese were already shaping the strength of Angkor at the time of Zhou Daquan toward the end of the 13th century. In his memoirs, Zhou reported that the country had been completely devastated by such a war, in which the entire population had been obligated to participate. After the collapse of Angkor in year 1431, many statues were taken to Ayutthaya, capital of Ayutthaya in the west. Others departed for the new center of the Khmer society at Long Phek, further south. The official capital later moved first to Udon, around 45 kilometers from Phnom Penh in Bongkhie district, and then to the present site of Phnom Penh. Some scholars have connected the decline of the Angkor with the conversion of the Khmer Empire to Theravada Buddhism following the reign of Jayavarman VII, arguing that this religious transition eroded the Hindu concept of kingship that underpinned the Angkorian civilization. According to Angkor scholar George Gold's Theravada Buddhism, denial of the ultimate reality of the individual served to sap the vitality of the royal personality cult, which had provided inspiration for the grand monuments of Angkor. The vast expanses of the temples require an equally large body of workers to maintain them. At Taprom, a stone carving states that 12,640 people serviced at a single temple complex. Not only could the spread of Buddhism have eroded this workforce, but it could have also affected the estimated 300,000 agricultural workers required to feed them all.